A life interrupted, the disappearance of Holly Bobo. Holly Bobo was a bright light in the small town of Darden, Tennessee. Known for her infectious smile and kind heart, she was loved by everyone who knew her. At 20 years old, she had her whole life ahead of her. She was full of dreams and aspirations, ready to take on the world. She was studying to become a nurse, eager to dedicate her life to helping others. Her passion for nursing was evident to all who knew her. But on a chilly April morning in 2011, Holly's dreams were shattered. The peaceful town of Darden would never be the same. She vanished without a trace, leaving behind a community in shock and despair. It was a Wednesday, just like any other. The sun was rising and the town was beginning to stir. Holly was getting ready for class at the University of Tennessee at Martin. She had a bright future ahead of her, filled with promise and potential. Her mom, Karen, had already left for work, trusting that Holly would follow her usual routine. Her brother Clint was still at home, unaware that this day would change their lives forever. He saw Holly walk out the door, heading toward her car. She never made it. The moments that followed would haunt him. Clint witnessed a chilling scene moments later, a sight that would be etched in his memory forever. He saw Holly in the carport with a man dressed in camouflage. The sight was unusual and unsettling. They appeared to be talking, but something didn't feel right. Clint thought it was Holly's boyfriend. He didn't think anything of it at the time, assuming it was just a normal conversation. He didn't think anything of it at the time. Little did he know, this was the last time he would see his sister. He would later tell investigators he heard a scream. Then, silence. A silence that would echo in his mind. When Karen returned home and found Holly's car still there, panic set in. Holly was gone. The realization hit hard. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Every call unanswered, every message unreturned. No one knew where she was or what had happened. The search began, but hope was fading. Fear gripped the small community of Darden. The sense of safety was shattered. The question echoed through the community: where was Holly Bobo? The mystery deepened, and the search for answers began. Frantic search and fading hope. The initial investigation. The news of Holly's disappearance spread like wildfire. Hundreds of volunteers joined the search. They scoured the woods. They searched the fields. They knocked on doors. They desperately hoped for any sign of Holly. Days turned into weeks. Hope began to dwindle. Law enforcement worked tirelessly, following every lead. They interviewed friends, family, and anyone who might have information. They chased down rumors and dead ends. The pressure mounted with each passing day. Holly's lunchbox was found discarded on a rural road. A piece of paper with Holly's name scrawled on it surfaced near a wooded area. Then, a discovery sent chills down the spines of investigators. A pair of women's underwear found miles away from Holly's home. Suspicions initially fell on a local sex offender, Terry Britt. The trail ran cold. Whispers and shadows, the emergence of suspects. As months turned into years, the investigation into Holly's disappearance took a series of twists and turns. Whispers of local men involved in shady dealings circulated through the community. Names were whispered in hushed tones. Suspicions fell on those who kept to themselves, those with a darkness in their eyes. The focus of the investigation shifted to two brothers, Zach and Dylan Adams. Dylan, arrested on an unrelated charge, cracked under pressure. He confessed to seeing Holly at Zach's house with another man, Jason Autry. Dylan's confession was chilling. He painted a picture of a terrifying ordeal. According to Dylan, Zach claimed to have raped and videotaped Holly. This alleged video became a focal point of the investigation. It led investigators to two more names, Jeff and Mark Piercy. Another name emerged from the shadows, Shane Austin. Austin initially cooperated with investigators but then tragically took his own life. The truth in the woods. A gruesome discovery and a community in mourning. 3 agonizing years passed with no sign of Holly. Then in September 2014, a group of ginseng hunters stumbled upon a horrifying discovery in the woods. It was a human skull. Dental records confirmed their worst fears. It belonged to Holly Bobo. The discovery of Holly's remains sent shockwaves through the community. The news confirmed what many had feared but desperately hoped wasn't true. Holly was gone. She had been murdered. The peaceful countryside now held a dark secret. The location where Holly's remains were found was significant. It was near property owned by Zach Adams' family. This discovery, along with Dylan's confession and the alleged video, strengthened the case against the Adams brothers. The community, once united in hope, was now united in grief and anger. The people of Darden wanted answers. Unraveling a web of deceit, the trial and convictions. The trial of Zach Adams was a media spectacle, drawing attention from across the nation. The courtroom was packed with journalists, curious onlookers, and members of the community, hungry for answers. The tension in the air was palpable as everyone awaited the unfolding drama. The prosecution laid out a chilling narrative of abduction, rape, and murder, painting Zach as a cold-blooded killer. They presented DNA evidence linking Zach to the crime scene, leaving little room for doubt. They called witnesses who testified to seeing Holly at his house, further solidifying their case. The star witness was Jason Autry, the man Dylan Adams claimed was with Zach and Holly on that fateful day. Autry, facing his own charges, agreed to testify in exchange for a lighter sentence, adding a layer of complexity to the trial. He delivered a bombshell on the stand, shocking everyone present. He claimed to have witnessed Zach shoot Holly in the head, a statement that sent ripples through the courtroom. The defense painted a different picture, attempting to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative. They argued that Dylan Adams, with his low IQ, was an unreliable witness, suggesting he was easily manipulated. They claimed he had been coerced into confessing, raising questions about the integrity of his statements. They pointed fingers at other potential suspects, including Shane Austin, trying to divert the blame. After weeks of testimony and deliberation, the jury reached a verdict, the moment everyone had been waiting for. Zach Adams was found guilty on all counts, a decision that brought a sense of closure to many. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 50 years, ensuring he would never walk free again. Shadows of doubt, unanswered questions, and lingering mysteries. While the convictions of Zach and Dylan Adams brought a sense of closure, the case of Holly Bobo remains shrouded in mystery. Unanswered questions linger, casting long shadows over the outcome. The full truth of what happened to Holly that day may never be known. The reliance on Jason Autry's testimony raises eyebrows. Was his testimony driven by a desire to save himself, or was he a genuine witness to Holly's final moments? Shane Austin's suicide remains a puzzle. The unanswered questions, the whispers of doubt, and the lingering mysteries continue to haunt the community and those who loved Holly most.